Well, Don Charles, trainer of Daniel Dubois. It's been an eventful week out here in Saudi Arabia.
What an experience. For the 20 years I've been involved in this boxing industry, I've not experienced anything like it.
Yeah, no, you used to train Derek Chisora, and you've been in big fights before with the likes of Klitschko, etc. So you know this big fight feel. But like you say, this is something totally off the scale, isn't it? I mean, you know, when I spoke to Anthony Joshua yesterday, he was saying, listen, we've all been in big fights and whatnot, but if you look at the names that are on the list, like Anthony Joshua, you know, Deontay Wilder, Jai Opataya, Dimitri Bivol, like you just go on, the names that go on,
It's
and
endless.
you've got this great fight with Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller. I suppose I want to ask you firstly, how did the fight come around?
The way the fight materialized, obviously the promoter, that's the department, the manager.
Yeah.
I don't really get involved in that. They offer me opponents. What do you think? Is this a fight that you would entertain? And when that time came, they offered Jarrell Miller. I said, I examined it like you would, spoke with the fighter, spoke with the management, and yeah, it was unanimous decision that it's actually the perfect opponent.
Sure.
For Daniel's career where he's at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel put up a great performance against Alexander Usyk back in August in Poland. I mean, what did he take from that, Don? What did you take from that? Like, for me, I looked at it and I thought, well, Daniel's just shown that he can mix with the best in the world because he had his moments in that fight. What did you take from that, and what did you take from that going into this fight?
Well, every fight you take something out of it, although it wasn't the ending that we wanted, but nevertheless, there were positives, big positives during that fight. And so we have less focus on the positives. We'll take that experience, Daniel the fighter, myself as the coach, the coaching team, and we move on onto this one. So any mistakes we may have made in the last fight, we're going to rectify them in this fight.
And Daniel and Jarrell have been having a big back and forth here, and it was great at the press conference there when Daniel actually, and I've not heard him like this before, and I know that you've been working a lot on the psychological stuff, and I know that's what you do, and you're great at doing that. You know, we go back a long way, and you brought Derek Chisora out of his shell and made him, you know, sort of like the personality he is, and we saw something from Daniel actually that I haven't seen before, but I liked it when he says, yeah, yo, big baby, I'm going to be your daddy and all that sort of stuff. And like that was, for me, that was first class. I go, I'm seeing a side of Daniel that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, listen, the kid just turned 26 in his last birthday. He's a very, very young man, and what he's achieved in his career so far, people forget that he's only a young heavyweight, you know, still growing. He's still got at least another 4 years of development before he's at his peak. You know, so he's growing in all areas, and that's like you quite well just mentioned that he's now being more vocal. He still doesn't speak a lot, but that was well timed because Miller all week he's been at him. In fact, Miller's been at everybody. Yeah, and obviously Daniel being his opponent, he's really had it in for Daniel, and what he came out with yesterday was gold. It was a golden moment.
Yeah.
The quote he came out with, and even Miller applauded it.
Sure.
You know, I mean, and that kind of it still didn't stop Miller talking, but that gave him food for thought.
It was unexpected, really man. Like because, like I say, you know, I know Daniel.
Yeah.
I know his personality, and I know he's quiet, he's reserved.
That was a
do the stuff.
dub play. What we call a dub play. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm loving that. I mean, look, let's talk about Daniel's losses. You know, the first one where he broke his eye socket. He got a lot of criticism for that.
Correct.
I recognise what it was when he went down. You go, no, he effectively saved his career against Joyce.
Correct.
That.
It's called taking a knee.
Absolutely.
It's not called quitting. It's all the narrative doesn't. You know, Spence, I get very agitated when that's mentioned.
Yeah.
Obviously, me being his coach, the narrative that's been put out there by the general public, and people are buying onto that concept that this word quitter has been labelled. It's far from that. The kid that I train every day is far from that. Okay? It took what we know as a knee in boxing. I think that's a very sensible thing to do.
Absolutely.
It's not called quitting. It's called taking a knee, live to fight another day.
And Don, let's move fast forward.
Absolutely.
His next big fight, Alexander Usyk out in Poland, big opportunity for him out there. Put this to bed for me as well, for the people as well. Again, that word coming up, people going, he's quit. You know what happened through the fight. We saw what happened.
Right.
The controversy surrounding Usyk.
Right.
Was it low? Was it not low?
Right.
I've been very vocal about it and said it wasn't a low blow.
Yeah.
Other people say otherwise. I mean, Dom, put this to bed for the people as well.
Okay.
And the people that say Daniel quit again in that fight.
Right. Now, I'm glad you asked me this. You know why? Because you're going to be the first broadcaster that I'm going to reveal. This might cost me my job. Yeah? This might cost me my job, what I'm about to tell you. Right. Some coaches do it, some coaches don't. You prep your fighter. Should you at any point find yourself down on the canvas, look for me in the corner. Focus. I will tell you when to get up. Right? Right. In the second knockdown from Usyk to Daniel Dubois, if you go and watch it back, I told Daniel, stay. I mistimed the count because with everything that was going on, I mistimed the count by 1.5 seconds. Yeah, you can go and watch it, play it back. I told him to stay, and when time I told him to rise, I, the coach, mistimed the count, and I'll take that blame.
Sure.
Yeah, people won't know that.
So people that don't understand this, when a
fighter's... First time I've revealed this,
when a fighter's on the floor and he goes down and he looks at the coach, just so you guys understand how it is, the coach always waits until 7-8 before he says up.
Correct.
Because he wants his guy to get his, get himself together. So that's where he's at done. So what you're saying is you've gone 8-9 and he's rose too late.
I mistimed the count because with everything that was going on, I am experienced. Sure. There's so much going on around us. Yeah.
Well, it was Ukrainian Independence Day. It was crazy.
I was a second out from telling my fighter to rise. I'll challenge anybody. It's not something me just saying it. Go and watch it. They can show the corner whilst Daniel was being counted. I don't know if they would have recorded the whole thing. Sure. You could see me going, stay down at first. Sure. Take the count, maximum. Yeah. And by the time I said rise, he rose, and referee waved it off. Sure. We gave the referee an excuse to wave it off.
Well, listen, I think people respected the performance that Daniel put in.
I could potentially lose my job because I've never revealed that.
Honestly, do you know what I love? That's what I love about you, Don. You know, I know you from old, and I've seen you develop as a trainer and as one of the world's leading trainers, because that's what you are. You've worked brilliant with heavyweights.
I need to start winning some Grand Slams. Well, then I'll be in that bracket. I'm not there yet. I want to be.
We're at that stage where you get another huge opportunity again. This time, December 23rd, tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow night against Jarrell Miller.
Unbeaten fighter.
Unbeaten fighter. Controversy surrounding him. You know, we all know what happened with the foul drug test. He had a 4-year ban. He was out.
No one. That's not really been highlighted. Okay, we're not here to. We're here to do a demolition job on him. Then we'll speak afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he's done his 4 years. He come back, Lucas Brown. He wins in the 6th round. He's lost 30 pounds since then.
Correct.
He sees this as a huge opportunity as well, because the winner, obviously, this is like a Super League, right? You got like Joshua versus Wallin. You got Wilder versus Parker. You've got Filip Hrgovic versus Mark Damori. You got Daniel Dubois on there versus Miller, and you're going to get. And I've asked all the guys this. Now, I even asked Joshua. I said, you're going to get winner, boxes winner. We got Fury Usyk going on February the 17th. They're going to be in the mix as well with all this.
Correct.
Boxing, heavyweight boxing in Saudi Arabia is a long-term
It's live. Thing. It's live. It's in a long-term plan.
So how do we beat Jarrell Miller? We know, for a big guy, for people that's not seen Jarrell, by the way, 328 pounds. He's lost 30 pounds since his last fight. But for a big guy, he's elusive and he's got quite quick hands.
Oh yeah, this guy is, this guy's got a style of boxing that could cause people problems, and we've studied him the same way he studied us. But we have a plan. We have a plan, and we're going to execute the plan, and I believe we're going to be victorious.
So answer the questions that people are asking here, and I can ask you this, because I feel that, we have that sort of relationship. People are going to be asking the questions if the fight gets into the second half. That's the question mark hanging over Daniel Dubois. Can he bite down on his gum shield? Can he go through, can he go through into those penultimate rounds?
The answer is obviously, I'm not going to say no, he can't. Sure. The answer is capital Y, capital E, capital S.
Right. Yeah, simple as
He
that.
has got that grit in him.
You're right.
I see him remember, this is our second camp together.
Yeah, sure.
He's a new fighter to me. I'm a new coach to him. This what we did in the first camp with 16 weeks of training. We went and took on the second best heavyweight on the planet right now in the name of Alexander Usyk. Yeah, we're not supposed to have done to Usyk what no one's done that to Usyk that I've seen.
Absolutely. I was ringside.
I was legitimate. Yeah? I'm not here again to argue. It's all dead in the waters. We're not here to moan and stuff. We saw what happened. The man was legitimately down and hurt, and he was excused by the referee.
Sure.
And that's why we're sitting here. And that young man should have been wearing those war titles around his belt. He's not, but we're here to right a wrong. Jarrell Miller will be beaten on the 23rd, and we're going to reinstate, Daniel will reinstate himself in the position that he should be in.
How does he win the fight?
It's KO. He will win anyway, by any means necessary, but we're coming here to do a job. He's going to knock him out in a spectacular start. Daniel's record suggests so also. His knockout percentage is very, very high.
If Daniel doesn't get rid of him early, is he prepared to go into the trenches?
We've trained for any eventuality. We always do. You have to.
Brilliant. Don, just quickly before we let you go, I just want to ask a quick one. Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin, potentially dangerous fight. I think you saw Joshua Wallin at Alexandra Palace actually when Joshua was an amateur.
Correct.
So you've seen them in the ring together before.
Correct. We've had Wallin in our gym. He helped us prepare for Fury. He's one of the. In fact, we employed a southpaw in the name of Wallin in case Fury decided to switch. Sure. So we didn't use him much, but I got to see more of him behind closed scenes. Yeah.
So you're better. You can talk better than most on Otto Wallin's chances against Anthony Joshua. So
everyone here, including Otto Wallin, this is a chance for him to change his life. You know, to break into that, like you said, Champions League. You know. Yeah. So he's gonna bring his A game, but I believe Anthony Joshua will KO Otto Wallin.
Brilliant. And let's just quickly move on. Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker. Pretty 50-50 fight, to be fair.
They're all, including our own fight.
Wilder's been inactive. I mean, will that play a part in this, or do you think Wilder's a different type of guy?
That's a very tricky fight. And like Frank Warren alluded to yesterday in the press conference, he said he doesn't believe that all these people are going to come through, the people who are expected to come through. That fight in particular, that's a very, very dangerous fight for Parker, a dangerous fight for Wilder. Because Parker is tested and trialed. His style might be all wrong for Deontay because he knows how to negate the ring craft. Sure. This is Parker.
Sure.
Like he said, he's got to stay perfect for 12 rounds. That's where the problem is.
Who wins?
Oh, it's a tough call, but I'm not going to sit on the fence because of it's well documented. Wilder's punching power.
Sure.
I have to go with Wilder.
Brilliant.
Because to stay perfect for 12 rounds is highly unlikely. So for that reason, I'll swear to Wilder.
Brilliant. Don, listen, thanks so much on weighing day for giving up your time. Can you do me one big favour?
Go ahead.
Because you're the man to do this, by the way. I want you to look down that lens and tell the talkSPORT viewers and listeners why they should tune into talkSPORT. It's live on the radio, by the way, from 8 p.m. talkSPORT 2. Switch over to talkSPORT, the main channel, from 9 p.m. for all the live action. Don, tell them why they should be listening and watching.
Well, again, talkSPORT gives it to you direct. talkSPORT doesn't sit on the fence. In fact, they're so straight to the point that they're barred from competitions because they tell the truth. Tune into talkSPORT is the only place, in my opinion.